Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to Movie Files. Elliott here to give you my review for the most recent episode of The Walking Dead, which was called Do Not Send Us Astray. So, if this is your first time tuning in, I do this every week. This is a spoilers review, so I just touch on the things I like and didn't like and kind of, what I hope for the following week. But if this is your, if you're coming back in, I appreciate you guys tuning in. So, let's just kind of get into this episode. So, if you guys saw my last week's review, which you can click either here or here, I can't remember which side it's on, but click on that video. You can see my my joy of last week's episode, even much so that I rewatched it within last week. I normally don't rewatch episodes within a season. I normally wait to the end of the season, but I really enjoyed last week's episode, and I was hoping that momentum carried over to this week, and I'm here to tell you it did. So I was a pretty big fan of what we got tonight. It was action paced. It was really good pacing just in general, and some things that happened I really enjoyed. So let's just start off with the things I really enjoyed about this episode. So number one, we get our crew all in one space. So if you guys, like I said up top, if you've watched my review so far in this entire season, I like when the group is together and not separated. Yes, separation creates a little bit more storylines and different dynamics, this, that, and the other, but it doesn't work for me. I just prefer our group to be in one unit, to be in one location, and see the inner workings within that location amongst my favorite cast members, which are, obviously Rick, Michonne, Daryl, Maggie, who she was just great this episode. I just love when the main cast is back together. Carol and, even Morgan. So I just love that. That just made me happy, just made my heart happy seeing our main cast back together. Some other things was, obviously the result of last week, propelled into this week, which is good because normally Walking Dead kind of leaves things kind of lingering within the season and it comes back up again. But Negan's plan was to do the biological warfare and he wanted to go to Hilltop. The plan was a little silly because I didn't know how his thought was to break through the gates and then maybe stab people and just run away. It was a little confusing, but we saw Simon kind of take that idea. He wanted to kill the people in Hilltop, but at the same time, his plan B kind of worked better than plan A because he was obviously able to wound some of the people from the Hilltop and Rick's crew, and we saw that what happened was the fever came about and they became walkers. So I thought that was just great from the writers to kind of, use that plot from last week and then obviously use it into this week. And we saw that was the result of a lot of casualties in Hilltop. So I really enjoyed that piecing together of one episode leading to the next. Some other things too, like I said, Maggie was really the highlight to me. She's just showing her, obviously people looking at her differently now in a sense of being a great leader, but in her mind she's conflicted because she put her emotions in front of her, thinking logically, and she admitted to it throughout the episode. So I really like that complexity that we got with Maggie. Yes, it's frustrating at times when they want to we get our main characters they're one mindset and they kind of switch things up, and we see this throughout the entire series, but I really kind of felt it with Maggie that she really did feel the weight of her decisions prior to this week's episode and to last and throughout the season. Really, she's just been gun-ho, same as Rick, gun-ho on killing Negan and doing whatever it takes, even if that means putting people at risk. So I really like that complexity they put up with Maggie's character. All in all, guys, again, I thought the pacing was really done well. The episode started off really well and ended pretty well too. Again, the action, the shooting scenes. At this point, I don't think no one should have a gun in The Walking Dead because they're just as bad as like stormtroopers in Star Wars. No one can shoot anyone unless they're like right in front of them, and even then it's suspect. But also I'm not a fan of the whole Tara and Dwight and the Daryl situation. But tonight's episode was pretty interesting to see that Tara saw what Dwight did as a sign of saving her, and obviously Daryl saw it a little bit differently. So I kind of like where that's going. At first, I wasn't a fan of it, but I'm kind of growing into it. All being said, I really enjoyed the episode. Now there was one thing in particular that just gets on my nerve, and this is just in general when they have younger children or younger kids in shows and they just do the dumbest things. This Henry storyline, he's now becoming less of a character and more of just a kind of a plot device, and kind of in a negative way, because now he's just gun-ho and finding his brother's killer. And that was when that moment happened when he let the prisoners out, or didn't let him out, but was going to kill whoever did kill his brother. It was just like, come on, Henry, like, what are you, number one, why is no one watching this child? And it was just kind of frustrating. I just don't like again, he's not a character at this point. He's just a plot device. And it was just that whole moment when he was going to kill the people, the saviors, and they got out, just pissed me off. Other than that, guys, I really enjoyed the episode. Again, consequences from last week propelled into this week. I really like that. I'm really looking forward to see what happens next week. It looks like Negan and Jada's, whatever her name is, the lady from the garbage people, they're going to have something going on, and I'm just excited to see. We got 3 episodes left, and again, I hope that this week propels into next week and so on into the season finale. So far 2 for 2 as far as consistency in the Walking Dead world. So again, I really enjoyed this episode. So 2 for 2, 2 weeks in a row, I'm happy with Walking Dead. So with that being said, that's my review. I really enjoyed it. There were a lot more positive than it was that one negative that kind of bothered me with Henry, but all in all, I really enjoyed it. And also too, it was kind of, before I forget, the whole Simon, when he came up, like, who walks in front of that is pitch black in their eyes and they're walking up to a house. That was just kind of silly to me. And also when the walkers kind of woke up from their fever, like no one heard that guy fall down the stairs. But that's just nitpicking at this point. But I enjoyed the episode. But I would love to know what you guys thought, you Walking Dead fans. Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you thought of tonight's episode. What do you want to see next week? As far as, obviously we didn't see what happened to Negan this week, but it showed from the preview that we're going to see what happened with Negan next week. So let me know what you're hoping to see. Follow us in the description. All of our accounts are on the description below. Like, share, and of course comment. And then I'll see you guys next week for The Walking Dead. But then for my movie fans, Morgan and I, we're going to have a review for Blockers Up coming up this week, as well as Isle of Dogs. So definitely keep an eye out for that. As usual, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video.